Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 490. And I wish you a wonderful new year, because I have a feeling, despite what's going on, this could be your year to achieve all that you desire. To release worries, doubts, anxieties, limiting thoughts, beliefs, and to ultimately achieve whatever you want. Because you're worth it ultimately. You might not believe that right now. Sometimes you might feel like an imposter. Sometimes we might feel like we're not enough, or we have anxieties. But I want you to know you have everything you need within you to get to where you want to be. However, just because we have everything we need within us, it doesn't mean it's just going to happen just like that. So in this episode, I would love to share with you what I've been actually sharing parts of this within my private group, the people I train or coach. And I want to be able to give you like a recipe, a step that will cause you to be able to move along toward whatever desire you have. Now, you may want to take some notes for this. I don't know how long this will go for. It might be very short, or it might be a good 20 minutes or so. But I want you to really make sure you get this. I promise you, if you do exactly what I say, you will have the potentiality to achieve whatever desire. And that desire could be something external. Say, I want to earn $20,000 a month, or maybe get that relationship, that house, that promotion. Or it could be just internal, that emotional freedom, to feel so self-certain and free to be whoever you desire to be, the authentic self ultimately, without all the layers and the conflicts and the symptoms and the issues that we experience. So the first thing I want you to know is that most people will just aim for their goal. I actually had a conversation with someone about this today. They were so fixated on their goal that it was actually creating bigger issues. And although you have to be very aware of your goal, I always like to be very clear. I don't want it to be vague. I don't want it to be too detailed to a point as well, but I want to have to know enough about it that I can really try it on and go, yeah, this is exactly what I want. So whether it be internal or external, you want to be able to be clear on your outcome. I always like to change and remove the word goal, though I sometimes slip it in there. But I like to change it to outcome, because a goal can be hit and miss, but an outcome seems like, this is my outcome. This is the destination. So I want you to think about your outcome and be clear with it. But I want you to also add this other part to it. I want this outcome or something better. You see, you might think you know what you want, but ultimately we might get there and go, I didn't want this. It doesn't feel right anymore. And I'm sure you've had experiences in the past where you thought you really wanted it, but when you got there, it didn't really fit the needs and the values of what you were really seeking. So whatever your outcome is, just add that sentence, this or something better. Because that means we're still going to either achieve that outcome, but we've broadened it to be able to maybe be open to something even better than we could ever imagine. Because your frame of reference right now might not be the one you really want to have in the future. So by just keeping it open-ended, but still to that outcome, it will allow you to really go for something bigger potentially, or something more suited for you. So always add, I want this outcome, fill in the blank, or something better. This or something better. That will allow you to feel so much more aligned in whatever that desire is. It almost gives you a feeling. You can try it on. I want this or something better. You're going to feel more open. You're going to feel as if like, oh my goodness, I just got to have this one goal. That gives you a lot of pressure. The other aspect I want you to quickly understand is that most people focus on their outcome and when it's going to happen. I don't want you to think like that anymore. Because when we go, oh, I want this, that will create a form of scarcity. Why? Because you haven't got it yet. So automatically, there's going to be a level of unconscious and conscious scarcity by just going, this is what I want, because we don't have it right now. The other pitfall, people think about, well, when's it going to happen? Once again, that adds scarcity into the mix. So it's good to know your outcome, but I want you to go a little bit deeper with this. And this is where it's going to take some time, and it's also going to test to see if you really want to do this. In other words, really achieve the goal and outcome, because it does take some time and some planning. Now, for example, when people are accepted into my program, so they apply, and if they're a good fit, when we really want to work with them, we may take them on, depending if we have enough space and time. And like I said, if they're a good fit and we know 100% we can achieve the outcome. But a part of the system, once they get in the program, is to consider why they want it. You see, most people go, I just want money. Now, that's not a bad thing. But just thinking about what you want isn't necessarily going to be enough leverage. You got to think about why you want it. What's it going to get you, in other words? Okay, and there's two levels to this. The first level is, when I think of achieving this goal, what's the feeling it's going to give me? And then just come up with that feeling. And we're going to circle back to that one very soon. But I want you to think about, okay, when I get my goal, this is what I'll feel. Hallucinate it. And then to come up with at least, and I'm going to say this, at least 100 reasons why. You see, the more reasons you get, the more you're able to leverage it to your unconscious mind. You're saying, look, these are all the reasons why it's important, because your unconscious mind won't know. You might know, but if you haven't really got it down on paper, your unconscious mind's not going to know. It's going to just operate from where it's always operated from, which is the issue. It thinks it's probably doing a good job, like a protection mechanism. So we need to make sure that it crystal clear knows all the reasons why you want it. And if you can find 100, wow, that's going to be a great sense of leverage to your unconscious mind. You can look at it and go, look, this is why I want it, and then go throughout your day. You're just stacking up the leverage. The other aspect is to come up with maybe another 100 reasons of why you are worth it. You see, one level is thinking about all the reasons of what it will get you and why you want it. But the other thing is, you've got to really understand that your unconscious mind needs to know why it's worth it, why you are worth getting it. So if you can come up with those reasons, coupled up with the reasons why you want it, you're going to be really, really aligned and becoming more free of resistance, which may have held you back. Now, you remember what I said about thinking about that one feeling. Once you achieve your goal, this is what it will cause you to feel. And maybe it's one or two things, but it's going to be fairly vague. It could be something like freedom or love or passion, purpose, excitement. Whatever it is, your job is to ultimately feel that feeling. That's what your job is. Throughout the day, feel that feeling as much as you want. Well, as much as you can. Because when you do that, you are feeling the feeling of having achieved the goal without the goal, which means your unconscious mind is going to find and look for everything which matches that feeling. Now, of course, the goal, or I should say outcome, will match that feeling because that's where it came from. So when you ask yourself, what is that feeling that it will give you or get you once you've achieved that goal, and then just operate from that feeling as often as possible, listening to the music which gives you that feeling, watch that movie which gives you that feeling, doing anything which gives you that feeling, like you're creating that feeling, it will get your mind to go where it needs to go, because whatever you desire desires you too. Whatever you want wants you too. But usually we're sending out all the opposite signals because we're focusing on what we want and when's it going to happen, the scarcity. And because we are feeling creatures, we'll be seeking out those feelings of scarcity. So what we're doing here is we're stacking up all the reasons of why you want it and why you're worth it and operating from that feeling, and that will cause you to unconsciously begin to get it more on autopilot. Now, of course, the one step that people usually miss. You ready? Take action. You have to do things. If you're not doing anything toward your goal, you could be offered that perfect recipe, but if you don't bake that cake, you're not going to get it. If you're not going to get those ingredients together, you're not going to be able to get what you want. Most people are making decisions based on their fears. You have to decide on what is right, what is good for you. Think about those reasons. Like, I know people who've had their issues for 40 years, 60 years. Think of what it would be like to finally be free of your issue. And I mean 100% free of it, or 100% achieving your goal. If you can go ahead and then think about that and take action, make a decision, a declaration of decisiveness, that you do 1 to 3 things every single day to add to getting you closer, you are going to move forward with so much more ease. The inaction, the self-sabotage based on fears, worries, and anxieties is just horrible feelings. And you've got to decide to do something else today. You got to decide this is why you want it, because you deserve that freedom, or you deserve that goal and outcome. It's all on you after all. And that's the good news. I always say it's good news that it's all on you, because that's something that you control. That is something that you have the opportunity to mold and cultivate. In other situations, we don't have that control. If we're relying on someone else or the economy or something like that, then it is going to be very hard to control. But there's one thing you can control, and that is you and the thoughts that you have, the decisions that you make. And it might be tricky at first because your unconscious mind is running all within this experience, all within these issues and symptoms and how it shows up. But ultimately, as you regain that control, as you regain that freedom, each and every day doing something which will benefit you and where you really want to go in the future, whilst knowing your outcome, knowing this or something better, knowing your 100 reasons why you want it, knowing your 100 reasons why you're worth it, and taking that action and assuming the feeling, no matter how big or small of action, that one feeling, you'll become energetically, psychologically, biologically more aligned to the outcome. Will it mean you're definitely going to get your goal or outcome? I would say most probably you're going to get it. You might need some more help and like external help. I mean, that's like, for example, that's what I do. I help people, or if I need external help, I will for sure be paying someone to help me get there quicker. I mean, if I could try to figure it out by myself, or I could hire an expert to teach me or show me how to do what I need to do. So you might need further help, but I know one thing: you are far more likely to succeed by following my steps I just told you than doing nothing or doing what you're already doing, most probably. So really, really go all in on this. Look, this is 2021. Whoever gets to say 2021? It sounds crazy cool, futuristic, and I think that this is your opportunity to get what you want out of life. We've had a crazy hard time recently, and one thing that I've been speaking about recently is that when the external world or the environment becomes very, very harsh or hard on us, when it feels like the opportunities are sinking or being depleted. Throughout history, when that happens, innovation happens. Businesses will find new ways. If they're like opportunistic ones, if they're ready, if they're like, I'm going to do this no matter what. Innovation comes from times out of stress. Innovation doesn't really come from when everything is all blissful and perfect, because there's no need for innovation. But innovation, true innovation, is created and constructed in times of stress, or times of diversity, or times of contrast and resistance. That's where the growth is. So see this as an opportunity to innovate yourself, to innovate your business, to grow more than ever before by double downing on your self-certainty, on getting what you want, how you want it, when you want it, and just make things happen. Look, I want you to succeed. I really want you to have that emotional freedom. I really want you to acquire and attain all that you want internally and externally. And I just want you to thrive and succeed. And the person with the most flexibility, the person with the most resilience and decision making and creativity and thinking outside of the box and just going for it no matter what. When everything says no, that is your time to say yes. I'm making this happen. So really take this on and assume that feeling and really take action upon it, because you will get exactly what you desire. I truly believe that. Why? Because I've been in some horrible situations in business. I've been in horrible situations in health. I've been in horrible situations with how I felt about myself. And I came through the other side, and I've seen so many people do it, whether it be through my system or just observing the world, the history of people, what people have gone through and got through the other side and utilized it and learned from it and become stronger because of it. When you see things as a challenge, you will never fail. You will only learn and grow. And of course, if you need the edge or that more one-to-one support and you want us on your team, all you gotta do is go through and watch our webinar, our coaching kind of webinar video thingamajig, and you go to www.josephclough.info/power and just watch this 35-minute video of I go a little bit deeper as to what has to happen to make a change. And if that resonates with you, then you can then take action, book a call with us, and then we can really see if we are a good fit. We got to figure that out. We don't take on everyone, but it might be of interest to you if you're truly serious of investing in yourself, of course, in time and money. It's not free. It's a very profound program, but go ahead to josephclough.info/power, and that will get you to that video, on-demand video right there, and then you can book a call with us should you so desire. By booking a call, I should say, you are not automatically accepted. We don't accept everyone. In fact, we try not to, because we want to serve just the right people who we know we can get the outcome 100%. So with that, let's make this year so great and profound and powerful because you decided to be you, the new, improved, the ever loving and growing you, to achieve all that you desire. So I look forward to speaking to you next time on the podcast. Many thanks and goodbye.